Hi, my name is Shinara Jane B. Espinosa.
And now, let's talk about hyperbola. Parabola is a set of all points in a plane whose difference of the distance from two fixed points, foci, are constant. About is the different properties of hyperbola. The first one is center. The center serves as the reference point of your hyperbola. It is located at the coordinate, which is h and k. And the next one, foci. Foci are points positioned inside the hyperbola. It is the one that determines the curvature and shape of the hyperbola. Vertex is the direction point of your hyperbola. Transverse axis is a line that is parallel to the axis of hyperbola. It contains the center, foci, and vertices. Conjugate axis. Conjugate axis is the line that is perpendicular to the axis of hyperbola. It contains the co-vertices of hyperbola. Now, lastly, eccentricity. Unlike the other properties of hyperbola, it is not something that can be visually seen, but it is a property that describes any conic section, how it deviates from being a circle. Hyperbola has a value of eccentricity greater than 1. And now, let's also talk about the formula of hyperbola. First, the general equation is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. And the next one is standard equation. Open parenthesis x minus h close parenthesis squared over a squared plus open parenthesis y minus k close parenthesis squared over b squared equals 1.
And now, I will show you how to solve the hyperbola in general equation form. For example, center is parenthesis 0, comma 0, parenthesis, and the vertex is parenthesis 0, comma 4, parenthesis, and the co-vertex is negative 3, comma 0. So, you will get the h and k in the center. So, the h and k is 0 and 0. This problem is a vertical hyperbola because the x-coordinate of center and vertex is the same. So, we'll get the letter A first, and the equation to get the A is h positive negative A equals h positive negative A is equal to 0, and the h is negative 3. So, negative 3, we need to transpose it, and this will go to 0 plus 3 equals 3. So, the answer for A is 3. And now, to get the value of B, we're going to use the vertex y coordinate. So, k positive negative B equals 4. And then next, the value of k is 0. So, 0 plus B equals 4. And then we need to transpose the 0. So, 4 plus 0 equals, the value of B is 4. So now that we get all the h, k, a, and b, we'll now proceed to the standard equation. So the standard equation is parenthesis y minus 0 close parenthesis squared over 4 squared plus parenthesis x minus 0 squared over 3 squared equals 1. So now we're going to square root the 4 and 3. So the square root of 4 and 3 is 16 and 9. So the answer for standard equation is y minus 0 squared over 16 plus x minus 0 squared over 9. So we'll get the eccentricity 2 times the 16 and 9. So the answer is 144. So now, let's proceed for solving the general equation. So 16 divided by 144 is 9. So 9 parenthesis y minus 0 parenthesis squared equals 16 parenthesis x minus 0 parenthesis squared equals 144. So we get the 16 by 9 divided by 144. And next, we're going to add all of it. So 9y squared equals 16y squared equals 144. So the final answer is negative 16x squared plus 9y squared equals 144. And now I will teach you how to solve the properties of hyperbola. The problem is 9x squared minus 16y squared minus 108x minus 128y minus 76 equals 0. So we're going to group them, and the answer is parenthesis 9x squared minus 108x plus blank parenthesis minus parenthesis 16y squared plus 128y plus blank parenthesis equals 76. We get the answer equals to 76 because we transpose it, so it's positive. And the next one is we're going to move out the 9 and 16. So 9 parenthesis x squared equals 12. So the answer is 12 because 9 divided by 108 equals to 12 plus 36. We get the 36 by dividing that 12 into 2, and the answer is 6. So the square root of 6 is 36. Minus 16 parenthesis y squared plus 8y. We get the 8y because 16 divided by 128 is 8 plus 16. So get the 16 by 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So the square root of 4 is 16. Parenthesis equals 76 plus 324. We get the 324 by 9 times 36 and then 16 times 16. So minus 256 because the 16 is negative and the other one is positive. So positive, negative is negative. And now we're going to make them into standard equation. So the answer is 9 parenthesis x minus 6 parenthesis squared. The answer is 6 because the square root of 36 is 6. Or for the other solving is the 12 divided by 2 is 6. Minus 16 parenthesis y plus 4 parenthesis squared. We get the 4 by dividing 8 into 2 equals 144. And now we're going to make them into standard equation. So the answer is 9 parenthesis x. Standard equation is parenthesis x minus 6 squared over 16 minus y plus 4 squared over 9 equals 1. So, we're getting the a and b by the square rooting the a and b. The square root of 16 is 4. So, the answer for a is 4. And the square root of 9 is 3. So, the answer for b is 3. So, for the h and k is, for h it is 6 and for k it's negative 4 because y plus 4 equals to negative. So the axis is horizontal because the answer is horizontal because the b is negative. And now to solve for foci, we need to get the c first. So the equation for c is a squared plus b squared equals to 4 squared plus 3 squared equals 16 plus 9. It is equals to 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. So the answer for c is 5. So now we're going to solve the foci because we have the c now. So h positive negative c is equal to 11 because 6 plus 5. And now for the k, it is negative 4. And then the next one is 6 minus 5, it is equals to 1. And for the k is negative 4. So now we're going to solve for the vertex. So to get the vertex, we're going to plus and minus the a to h. So 6 plus 4, it is equals to 10. And for the k, it is negative 4. And for the other one is 6 minus 4 equals to 2. And for the other one, k is negative 4. So now we're going to solve for the covertex. So to solve for the covertex, we're going to solve for the k plus or minus. And now we're going to solve for the covertex. So the equation for covertex is parenthesis h, comma, k, positive negative b, parenthesis. So the answer is, for the h, it is 6, comma, so k plus b, negative 4 plus 3, it is equals to negative 1. And the other one is, for h, it is 6, comma, negative 3 minus 4, it is equals to negative 7. So to solve for transverse axis, we're going to times that 8 into 2. So the a value is 4. So 4 times 2, it is equals to 8. So the answer for transverse axis is 8. And for getting the conjugate axis, we're going to times the b into 2. So the value of b is 3. So 3 times 2, it is equals to 6. So the answer is 6. Thank you for listening. Hoping that you understand all the different kinds of conic section. This is again Shinara Espinosa discussing the hyperbola conic section. Thank you.
And that was a wonderful presentation from Ms. Lee. On to our next topic, we're going to talk about ellipse, starting off with its definition, parts, and its equation. Without further ado, let's start. Ellipse. If the plane intersects a cone diagonally in which a bounded curve is shown, then that curve shape is called an ellipse. The ellipse is the set of all points in a plane whose sum of the distance from the two fixed points, the foci, are constant. If you draw out a circle where the distance from the first focus to a point and plus the distance from the second focus, Eventually, you will draw out an ellipse. Onto its properties. At the midpoint of the ellipse is called the center. The center would serve as the reference point with the h and k as its coordinate, and is in between where the longest and shortest line intersects. Focus. Being only on one point and foci being plural are the 2 points positioned inside the ellipse. It would be the one that determines the curvature and shape of the ellipse. The variable associated with foci is c. All ellipses have a major axis. It is the longest line segment with the variable being associated with the major axis A. And the endpoints are called vertices. And the minor axis is the shortest line segment that passes through the center and is perpendicular to the major axis. Its endpoints are the co-vertices. And last but not least, the eccentricity. That is unlike to any other properties of ellipses, with a value of between 0 and 1. Now that we've finished discussing the different properties of the ellipse, let us move forward and talk about its equation. The general equation of the ellipse is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals to 0, where a, b, c, d, e is r, a, b is less than 0, and a unequals to b of the ellipse. Open parenthesis x minus h plus parenthesis squared over a squared plus open parenthesis y minus k plus parenthesis squared over b squared is equals to 1, where h and k are the coordinates of the center of the ellipse. H is the abscissa while k is the ordinate of the center. A is also unequals to b, and a, b is r plus. Now that you know the ellipse definition and its equation, you should try handling on an example. Let's start with the example number 1. Off by finding the center. The center would be the h and the k. The resulting in open parenthesis 0, 0 plus parenthesis. Therefore, the vertices would have the open parenthesis 0, comma, and a close parenthesis, and open parenthesis 0, comma, negative a, and the font size would have open parenthesis 0, comma, 5, close parenthesis, and the other parenthesis, open parenthesis 0, comma, negative 5. That is because they are symmetrical with each other in the ellipse. Therefore, the a would be 8, the c would be 5, resulting in b squared equals to open parenthesis a squared minus c squared would give us open parenthesis 64 negative 25, resulting in the square root of 39. Thus, the vertical ellipse would be x squared over 39 plus y squared over 64 equals to 1. Start off by finding the center. The center would be the h and the k. The resulting in open parenthesis 0, comma, 0 plus parenthesis. Therefore, the vertices would have the open parenthesis 0, comma, a, close parenthesis, and open parenthesis 0, comma, negative a, and the font size would have open parenthesis 0, comma, 5, close parenthesis, and the other parenthesis, open parenthesis 0, comma, negative 5. That is because they are symmetrical with each other in the ellipse. Therefore, the A would be 8, the C would be 5, resulting in B squared equals 2 open parenthesis A squared minus C squared would give us open parenthesis 64 negative 25, resulting in the square root of 39. Thus, the vertical ellipse would be x squared over 39 plus y squared over 64 equals to 1. Now that you know the ellipse definition and its equation, you should try handling on an example. Let's start with the example number 1. Start off by finding the center. The center would be the h and the k, resulting in open parenthesis 0, 0, close parenthesis. Therefore, the vertices would have the open parenthesis 0, comma, a, close parenthesis, and open parenthesis 0, comma, negative 8, and the foci would have open parenthesis 0, comma, 5, close parenthesis, and the other one would be open parenthesis 0, comma, negative 5. That is because they are symmetrical together in the ellipse. Therefore, the A would be 8, the C would be 5, resulting in B squared equals 2 open parenthesis A squared minus C squared would give us open parenthesis 64 negative 25, resulting in the square root of 39. Thus, the vertical ellipse would be x squared over 39 plus y squared over 64 equals to 1. Congratulations! You officially learned the definition, equation, and even the properties of ellipse. By the way, this is administrator 1, and now we're moving on towards the next lesson, which is hyperbola.
These are the different kinds and examples of conic sections that are applied in real life. Circle, gear, and albums, as well as CDs, are ideal. Real-life instances of circles, and they were necessary in everyday life at the time. Circles can be found in the form of bangles and rings. In real life, circles are utilized for a variety of purposes. Cars, bikes, and other vehicles have wheels. Transportation. A circle's form is beneficial with a car or a bike produce a smooth movement to migrate from one location to another. Parabola. In today's world, parabolas are everywhere. Parabolas can be found in a variety of places. Almost everything come across on a daily basis. When a circle is cut in half, a parabola is generated. Like dolphins kick a ball, hit a baseball, and shoot a basketball hoop, jump, and a lot more. The path of any object shown in the air is known as parabola. Ellipse. Ellipse make a difference in the actual world. Due to oval form, if you tilt a glass of water, the surface of the water will tilt as well. The liquid takes on an elliptical shape. Hyperbola. In the James S. McDonald's architecture, a hyperbola is generated in the planetarium. When you turn on a lamp, it emits the lamp is open from the top. Hyperbola, and at the bottom, light emerges to make a hyperbola. The asymptote is approaching from both the top and the bottom.